Olá, bem-vindos a mais uma edição do programa MOZEFO. Nos próximos dias 2, 3 e 4 de dezembro vamos organizar o grande Fórum MOZEFO e um dos temas que é transversal e que estará presente nesta discussão é o tema da cultura. Vamos discutir a cultura como um ativo estratégico, outros temas como cultura e paz. E para falar de cultura, para falar de África, para falar do jazz, temos hoje o privilégio de ter connosco no programa um dos gigantes da música do continente africano. Ele tem mais de 80 anos, praticamente 60 anos de carreira. Nasceu em 1933 em Douala, nos Camarões, e é mais conhecido como o Leão Africano. Vamos conversar ao longo desta hora com Emmanuel Dibango, mais conhecido como Manu Dibango. Manu, je vous remercie beaucoup pour cette opportunité.
Ah, c'est gentil à vous. And first of all, thanks to Mr. Moreira to make this happening.
That's right. O nosso agradecimento a Moreira Chonguissa.
Yes, I pay my tribute because it does a good, big event. See, somewhere in Africa, in Maputo, and I hope that will continue more, and bigger for him, for the country, and for Africa also.
And this is how your relationship with Mozambique begins. It's through Moreira?
Yeah, that's very funny. Like 15 years from now, we were playing in Cape Town, next door. That's where we meet, and we feel like we are two sax players. We play, we enjoy being together, and we keep a relationship without other things, just good relationship. And then more and more fun and this. I want to come to Paris. Okay, come to Paris. We spend some days in Paris. And after that, oh, you see, Manu, I'm doing some festival in my country. That's 2 or 3 years from now. So that was the first time I came here. Through him, I enjoy the country. People seem to like me. By the way, they knew me before because they knew the songs, and I did not know something about this country.
Do you have any doubt that they like you?
Well, I was not thinking about that because I did not know the country. You see, usually I don't come in Portuguese speaking, or I know Angola, but here Maputo I did not know. I know Cabo Verde, I know Guinea-Bissau speaking Portuguese, but in this part of Africa that was the first time.
But there is something about music, and it's a universal language that unites people.
That's
it doesn't matter if you speak English or French or Portuguese, Spanish or Arabic. Music brings people together.
Let's say that you speak music.
On parle de la musique.
Voilà, on parle de la musique, and this is one of the best things to link people, that music, culture. And more and more, he was singing to do what he's doing actually, yeah? And we spent 2 days, 2 concerts, one here and one in the city, open. 2 different audience, and a lot of people, they react positively to what we play for them. So in advance, I'm very happy, and I hope other countries than this country are going to do the same thing to talk about African culture, no more, no less.
We will definitely talk about African culture during our interview. But first, let's go back to your childhood, Manu. You were born in 1933 in Douala. How did music enter your life?
Well, naturally. I think that I'm born musician. Without knowing that, I became later on professional, because you can't, in fact, you can't be a music lover. Huh? You can be music amateur, and then you can be professional. Or it takes time before something happening in life that would decide that, okay, this is my way, that's my only way in life, and I'm lucky I found something to go through my life with. So it came in progressively, and I leave my studies sometimes to study music. And then from that, I became professional in Belgium.
I read somewhere in an interview that you said, first I was a musician, then I became an artist.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean, that you became a professional, or does it mean more than that?
Well, because you can love music without being artist, just because you like music. Popular music, classic music, jazz music, you like it, but not for live, to work, to be a music worker, I don't know how, musicien, travailler avec la musique, travailler avec un instrument, toute ta vie c'est ton travail, that's your work. D'autres sont secrétaires, d'autres sont journalistes. Et moi, tu es musicien. Alors, professionnel parce que tu vis avec la musique. De ta musique, you live for and with.
Which point or in which moment in your life did you find that opportunity to make music your life, your work?
It's not like one shot, huh? It's many steps. Huh? First, you play with friends in school, and after that, you play with some musicians in town, Saturday and Sunday, and Monday is very heavy to go back to school, and more heavy to go to school, and more involved in playing music. And opportunity also to find good band leader who take you and so far. Progressively, you live one life to go to other life, where you feel very comfortable with this life, this music life instead of studies life or something like that.
You moved to France in 1949.
Yes.
You were 16 years old.
15 years.
15,
yes.
Before, because your birthday is in December.
Well, in December.
Yeah, so it doesn't, you were not yet 16. And you carried with you a few bags of coffee to sell and pay for your studies. Is this real or is this a myth?
Legend. No, you see, 49, it was short from the end of war. And in that time, we were colonized. I was not really African, as they say. I was French, speaking French, and colonized by French. But with opportunity to come to study in real France in that time. So when I was one of the few lucky, because I had parents who could pay for study in France. So I was lucky to go. And when you come to another country, you go to see people, you bring something like present. And coffee at that time, coffee was something very rare. Each family, African families had some coffee behind the house. So they give me 3 kilos of coffee to give a present to my correspondent. But at time, 3 kilos of coffee at that time pay a month's rent in that time. Now, how 3 kilos? What can you do with 3 kilos of coffee now? In that time, that was very, very something.
Very precious.
Yeah, precious. That's it. But it was not to sell, it was to give.
And what was it like? You mentioned 1949, it was just at the end of the war. we were in the height of colonialism.
Yeah.
What was it like for you, a young African youth, coming to France? What was that like? How were you accueillis?
It was like a dream. Everybody wanted to go to Europe. It was like a dream. It was like a paradise. You see, that's very funny, because you are colonized by people who call you, who invite you to come to see them. But colonialist people are not the same that local people. You see?
What do you mean by this?
The normal French man, or the normal Portuguese, or the normal English, is really human normal, no problem. The colonialism is something different.
Not the same as the ones who were
No,
in
no,
the
no,
colonies.
they are very different, very different.
So you didn't feel any kind of...
No, there was some kind of love. We didn't know each other. That's very funny. But when you come to France and you see French people in the whole country, they are different than the people who bring the world, who bring the colonization in your country. You see, that's different way to approach people.
And then in 1960, you go back to, after you go to Kinshasa.
Yeah, I went to
Right.
Kinshasa,
Was that the first time that you
1961.
returned?
No, I returned in 60, but in Abidjan for the independencies. That was, yes, it was August 60. For the first time I get back to Africa.
You were celebrating independence.
Well, yes, in Abidjan, not in my own country. Because I used to say to spend my time with Ivory people, Ivory Coast. I had a lot of Ivory friends, more than Cameroonian friends in that time. So when the independence came, they invited me to go to Abidjan, and that was really the first time for me since '49 to get in Africa. I was very lucky. When we finish, I say, okay, I'm going to take a look in Cameroon to see what's going on. That was in '60. I spent a week, but there was really a civil war in Cameroon at that time, so it was not easy at all. I was very happy, my family was happy, but at the same time there was war. So you can imagine.
So, and then in going forward a bit, in 1972,
Yeah.
or 71 or 72,
72.
you have the, you know what, where I
Yeah,
go,
this Sol Makossa stuff.
Makossa.
Yeah, it happened.
Tell us about that. It's changed your life, no?
Of course, when you make a hit, always that change your life.
How did it change your life?
But you don't know that you are going to make a hit. Otherwise, you go every day on studio. I was lucky because they asked me to play to write a song for football in Cameroon with Team Coupe d'Afrique. So that in that time there was vinyl record, a single 45. Two sides. Okay, I write a limb, and in the B side, always, if you must be lucky, most of the time a B side. Because you put one.
Whatever you want.
Yes, that's happy. And the winner is the B side. And from the B side, they change your life. From musician, you became artist and dealing with another field in music.
And tell us the process. It was the Cameroonian government that commissioned the song.
The song, the E side, but not the B side.
Okay. And so, how did you compose Sol Makossa? How did it come to you?
No, I did that before, and I said, okay, I'm going to put that on record because there's no challenge. And also, it was like when I was rehearsing Sol Makossa, young people around me, they were smiling, they were dancing. I said, okay, but I'm going to put that without knowing really that it's going to be a hit, of course. Huh?
And when you were writing it, Where did you draw inspiration?
I wrote this song before in Cameroon.
Yes, but the inspiration, where did it come from?
You don't know.
All around you.
You do Soul Makossa like you do the other songs. Now people decide that's the song. You have a lot of songs with you. You put them in the record, and you don't know the magic of the stuff is that you're not the one who decide. It's people who decide.
The audience, the public.
Yeah, the
decides.
audience. This is a kind of fairy tale. You see, you don't know really. You don't know. The magic is there.
And it is such a big hit that many artists then.
Yeah, of course.
We are talking about Michael Jackson.
Yeah, legally and not legally.
Rihanna, legally and non-legally.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about that a little bit. You sued, you opened a lawsuit against Michael Jackson twice, I think.
Yeah.
And Rihanna. What was
and
Rihanna
and Lopez.
The most powerful artist in
the world.
What was that like?
Well,
Bravo, Manu.
Two sides. No, two sides. First side, I'm honored. I'm proud that the most important artist chose one of my songs. I'm very proud about that. And then the second point is that it was not legal the way he took that. That's why we went to court with the lawyer and so far. But many people, they took this song. I mean, in cinema in America, there's a lot of movies with Soul Makossa. Spike Lee did that. People like Robert De Niro in all the movies, they took 1 minute, 45 seconds, 2 minutes. They like it. They like it really. So they use it. So most of them, they use it legally, okay? And few of them illegally. That's life.
Do you think that this is one of the challenges for African artists in general, protecting their copyright?
Even if you protect, there's many processes. Il y a beaucoup de procès with the songs, because most of the time they sing, okay, probably you don't have money to support long process, right? Because the process can take 4, 5, 6 years before you win or you lose.
And you spend a lot of money doing it.
And that's it. They are going to say, okay, he got not enough money, so he's going to leave. Or you say, okay, I'm going to the end. I spend my money, and maybe I'm going to win. And it happened that I win the first time. The second time, he did.
Yeah. But it says a lot about Manu Dibango. Huh?
Yes?
Yes. I mean, Michael Jackson and facing up.
Well, that's a part of the game. You are good. You must be lucky somewhere. But this gives long life to the song, because everybody is talking about that. Wrong or not, Soul Makossa, well, everybody knows about this story. So that gives long life to the song.
That is a lesson for us.
Yeah.
That's right. Manu, vamos fazer breve intervalo. Voltamos dentro de instantes. Fique na nossa companhia. E estamos de volta para a segunda parte desta entrevista com Manu Dibango, considerado um dos maiores músicos do continente africano de todos os tempos. Manu, let's go a little bit into politics. Why not? Pourquoi pas?
Pourquoi pas? But I better like cultural politique culturelle.
We will see. We will see.
Ouais, mais politique, mais culturelle.
Oui.
Mais bon, it's up to you. It's up to you.
In 2010, you were condecorated with the Légion d'honneur.
Yes.
Et puis en 2013 avec le Grand Vermeil de Paris.
Oui.
Ouais.
Le commandeur des arts et lettres aussi. Hein.
How does it feel for you as an artist from Africa in France to be to receive the highest honor possible?
C'est l'honneur. I am honored, and you see, you don't play music for that. People decide that, okay, this man is doing something, so we must. But really, in my side, I'm not playing music to receive. But if they give me, I cannot say I don't want it, because this is also une image for African people to see that if it happens that, let's say you do well, people that recognize you out of the continent. So you can't do that if you work seriously, and maybe you must be lucky also somewhere. Because a lot of musicians, very good musicians, they try to do the best. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. So when that's happened, it's not only for you, it's for all the people who want to do something. You must tell them that try the best you can. Maybe someday you can be lucky as I was lucky.
Now, you live in Paris.
Yeah.
We see a lot of tension in France, not just in France, but in Europe.
In Europe.
Between les immigrants, and we see a lot of right-wing movements emerging now with a lot of strength. How do you see, how does Europe deal with that legacy and that problem?
You see, lady, what's happened is not only in Europe. That's happened all over. You have a lot of problems in Africa. African people, they don't support African people. Let's start by that. We have the same problem. It's because in Europe they show what's going, bad, good. Actually, in the world, there's some kind of frozen soul somewhere. Nobody supports nobody. This is a period, because maybe sometimes that's going to change. But we have the same problem to travel around Africa. That's very tricky. To have papers, passport, even if our neighborhood, we must say that too. So it's not only in Europe, it's all over. Even in America, Mexican people and so far. You see, the beach war is not only, well, that's a human problem. When we are talking about that, we must talking about the human being in this period. There's no more Jesus because they kill again Jesus. People that are not going more, they are not anymore going to the church, but they go to manifest outside.
And they go to the music festival.
Some they don't like festival. Sometimes there's some countries that don't like music at all. So it's a big mess all over the world, not only Europe. Europe is in focus now because everybody, but our continent also.
You used a very strong expression. You said there is a frozen soul.
Yeah.
So how do we unfreeze that soul?
Well, it's a moment who nobody knows. There's not a perspective of going. Period is changing now. Long time, Europe was the leader of the world. And now, China is coming, India is coming, Brazil coming, a new way to perspective in life changing. So there's some period nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. But there's a big change coming. That's why everybody is afraid. That's why I'm talking about frozen soul. Very cold period actually for everybody.
You know, Manu, this expression, the frozen soul and unfreezing, it takes me to the forum that we are organizing, the MOZEFO forum,
yes.
that we are organizing here in Mozambique in December. And the slogan that we have chosen is the future is now, humanizing growth. So humanizing, which is maybe something close to what you are saying. You know,
well, without knowing that you are doing forum.
Alors, in this forum, we will be discussing culture. Among many other things, we will be discussing youth employment, the role of women in the economy. We'll be discussing culture and peace.
Culture and peace.
Yes, yes. And we will be discussing also culture as a strategic investment. So we would like, I mean, it's a privilege for us to be here with you, and drawing from these 80 years of a very rich life. What can you tell us? Why is it important to invest in culture?
Well, you see, I'm just normal man. I'm not special, specific. But from what I see, I think that the culture is something who can help a lot for understanding between human beings. It's not only music, it's only painting, literature, sculpture, I mean, yes, you see. And that can help human, because when you go to a home and you watch what human can do, you go to Saint Pierre, you just have to watch everything that's maximum of beauty a human can do. At the same time, you have machine guns, you have Kalashnikov, the same people. So that's very strange. Which side do you want to keep for you? Do you want to go like this beauty, beauté, la beauté? Or do you want always to burn what's brûler ce qui est beau? C'est ça le problème, c'est de brûler, to burn what's really the maximum of what a man, a woman, human people can do the best in the world. When you see a fantastic garden, you see the landscape built by a man, that's very beautiful. At the same time, you have people who come to put fire, to put this, that's human. So where's the balance? Are we ready to talk about the balance?
So what is your message for African leaders?
I'm not a messenger.
One little step that governments in Africa can take to support the arts. We have a lot of challenges.
Start by supporting arts. I mean, it's better to support arts than to have a lot of weapons. It's better to support arts because arts can give you a step to go. I mean, one of the reasons to live, because you didn't choose to born here. You didn't choose to be black. You don't choose to be white, but you are here. In between, and you come naked. You going naked. You are not going with big money. What that time happened. So in between, try to do something. I mean, positive. See the life in positive way. Not only grabbing money. You are not going with the money. So help the culture, because the culture can give you, la culture peut vous enrichir better than the money.
Culture can also make a lot of money. So let's see from the economic perspective.
Culture is also economic.
We have you, Manu, you set up the Soir au Village
Yes.
Festival. we have the More Jazz series here in Mozambique
Yes.
and other festivals. How can that transform the economy in emerging countries?
Let me give you an example. I wrote Sol Makossa, right? Bon. In our country, we have coffee, bananas, cacao, and so. Sometimes I ask to one in charge of economy in my country to call a banana Makossa banana, because people, they know Makossa. And when you are going to market, you see Makossa banana, you buy it. That relates you something. So the culture can go to economy. Yes, and we did that. In fact, we did that, and you have Makossa banana in France, in the market. Because people, they know the word of that.
Economic value.
Économiquement parlant, ça c'est un exemple. That relates something in your mind. So you go to the shop, you buy it. There's many bananas coming all over the world. So this
There's only one Makossa banana.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you can say it because not because the banana is the best, but that relates something. You are dancing Makossa, you are going to eat Makossa.
You eat the banana and you feel like dancing.
Well, voila, a jingle.
We are talking music now.
Well, that's music can be economically, yes. Yes.
I think we are near the end, but Manu, it's hard to see what else is left for you. You have achieved so much. You are.
What left tomorrow? What I did now is already done. The most important is what are you going to do tomorrow? That's the most exciting project. Tomorrow, up to the end. But when the ends come, you don't know. Everybody knows but you. Mm-hmm. So, at the same time, you must thinking about doing something. Action.
You never stop.
No.
You recorded your first album in 1971?
No, 61.
Thank you for correcting me. 1961, and you never stopped. Almost every year you are recording.
Well, what for stopping? Well, you want me to go to fish?
I don't know if maybe the fish.
No, I like fishing, but I mean,
Lacoste fish.
Why not? Why not? No, you can do a lot of things through the music. This is a matter of imagination. And when we are talking about culture, it's because people need to exercise themselves having imagination. C'est l'imagination qui dirige le monde.
La créativité.
Oui, c'est ça. C'est ça. Donc, il faut cultiver, il faut que les gouvernements proposent des programmes pour cultiver l'imagination et ça suscite la créativité. C'est ça le problème. Pour moi.
Manu, on va terminer ici avec l'imagination, avec la créativité et avec a final word for young musicians. Your legacy for them. What is your message?
The legacy, c'est le travail. Because you are not the leader, the music, you are always, remember that, you are behind the music, not in front. You are always chasing the good sound, the good instrument, the good way to play. Everything is in front, not behind. So you must work very, very hard to catch something. You must swim. Il faut nager.
Superbe. Manu, je vous remercie beaucoup.
Ouais,
encore une fois.
Moi aussi, merci.
C'était un grand plaisir.
Bon, on l'a fait quand même, hein, in English. Hein? I'm French speaking, but I try.
E obrigada a si que nos acompanhou nesta edição especial do programa MOZEFO, à conversa com o leão africano Manu Dibango.